Hi, my name is Emily, and this is the Delight Knits podcast, episode 27. Today is March 19th of 2023, Sunday, and it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I have a few things that I've finished in the last couple weeks that I want to show off to you, and quite a few whips I've done a lot of casting on as well. And I actually got to go out and hang out with some yarny friends yesterday, which was lots of fun. So I will be telling you all about that here coming up. And I did some yarn dyeing. But let's start with, I am wearing my newspaper pullover by Joji Locatelli, knit out of Ruby and Rose's yarn. Seunghee is the pink and Mirror is the gray. And I love this sweater, but it is pretty cold today. So I have 3 finished objects. One of them I did mail off, but I will pop in pictures, and then I've got 2 others. So last episode you saw me knitting on these socks, and I was just finishing up with the Summertime colorway by Macy, who I saw yesterday. And so I finished off with the blue toes. Since that last podcast, I think it literally took me a day or 2. You may hear stuff going on. My husband is putting my son down, and my daughter is watching Super Kitties on Disney Plus. So she might be playing along with that. And dryer's going, dishwasher's going. It's the weekend. Chores are getting done. So I apologize for those noises if you hear them. But finished a pair of socks. I did all my socks the same way. If you're new here, I say it in all of my other ones. My Ravelry project pages, which will be linked below along with everything else, has all the information. Pretty much I knit all of my vanilla socks the same exact way. 64 stitches, 2x2 rib, slip stitch, heel flap and gusset. This foot might be a little shorter than what it needed to be because they keep sliding down, but that's pretty much it. So finished pair of socks. I also finished the Dear Duomo sample sweater that I was knitting on last time, and I had just finished the body 2 weeks ago. So I knit the collar and the sleeves, and that turned out great. I'll pop in a few pictures. I did post them on Instagram, but I did mail that off on Friday back to Rachel. I'm pretty sad I didn't get to keep it. It was a beautiful sweater, and you will be seeing another one of those sweaters, probably in different similar colors. I haven't quite picked out which yarn I'm using, although I am going to use Surrey instead of mohair, because the mohair sweaters that I have just aren't as comfortable. Like, this is an 85-15 base, and I love it against skin, but the mohair might be a little prickly. So I think I'm going to try a Surrey sweater. But yeah, that one was great. The collar took me a couple days just because picking up, and in that pattern, it had a really interesting way of picking up a collar, like where you put a crochet chain and then you pick up in the crochet chain. So it brought that wider neck in quite a bit, and I loved it. And then the sleeves, each sleeve took me a day to knit, and that was it. So it's nice and quick and easy, and loved it. But it is off to its final owner. I also cast on and knit the Point Edwards mitts by, I don't know who it's by actually. Do I have it in here? No, I don't think I have it. I don't know who it's by, but it'll be linked below. And they're kind of covered in dog hair. But Point Edwards mitts, fingering held double. It's supposed to be twisted rib. I did not do twisted rib. But they look funny. So it's supposed to cover your fingers, like your thumb and your fingers, and you can fold it down. Oh man, I should have thought about that when weaving in my ends. I will. These are going to somebody at church. we have like a secret pal going on, and the person who I have would love them. So that's that. This is yarn that I dyed. I made a Musselburgh. So I dyed 2 skeins, and I made a Musselburgh out of one, and then this out of the other. And I still have quite a bit of leftovers, but I don't know if I have enough to knit a whole nother set. But yep, Point Edward mitts. They turned out great. Probably could have done a couple more rows up here, but it'll be fine. Thumb's definitely good enough. So that is those. They turned out great. I think I might knit myself a pair. They literally, so I was at Arkansas Yarn Co. yesterday for Macy's trunk show, and I had just cast on like 2 rows of one, and I literally knit the entire thing while I was there from like 11:30 to 3. I did the thumbs while I was at home just because magic loop and picking up and all that, it's just easier. But super quick with fingering held double. Definitely recommend that pattern. That is my 3rd finished object in the last 2 weeks. So I've done quite a bit of knitting. I also worked on my outline tee, which I believe I had cast on last time. And I got lots of opinions on it yesterday, which was great because I needed them. But here is my outline Raglan. I think I said outline tee a second ago. It's the outline Raglan by Jessie. Jessie Maed Designs. I was like up here last time. I took off my progress keeper that I had because I blocked it to test the fit. So this pattern is recommended to have like 7 to 10 inches of positive ease. And I only have 2 skeins of the Sport Weight Suburban Stitcher Rosewood Oopsie, which is the colorway. I only have 2 skeins of it because that's all she had at DFW. Or that's all. Yeah, that's all I was able to purchase at DFW in September last year. So I'm doing the smallest size. I will do short sleeves. I'm almost done with the first skein of yarn. And it's gonna be cropped, probably. Not gonna be too happy about it, but it'll be okay. I will probably just pick up the sleeves.
Can you see it?
You can see.
Well, you can edit that out.
I don't know where I was. Okay. I'm going to just pick up the sleeves and probably do a little bit of ribbing. I thought about doing short rows on the caps to bring them down, but I really am just going to pick them up, do maybe 3 rows, and then do just a little bit of ribbing, maybe even an I-cord bind off. Because in the pattern, she says there isn't any ribbing called off. It's like you just bind off and you're done. But I'm afraid there will be rolling. Like this neckline is still kind of rolling. You can see it. And this is blocked because I wanted to try it on for a fit. But yeah, I don't know. It'll be fine. It's fitted. I wear fitted stuff like this. And the drop stitches are going to open it up maybe a little bit more. I did talk about it with Lori yesterday because she has already knit her body and has dropped the stitches. So I got to see how they open up, and it looks good. So the drop stitch goes down the side as well. And if I want to lengthen my body, and Lori was talking about it yesterday too, I think she made the same change. You're supposed to like increase out every other row. But if you keep going and you're not doing a cropped body, it's gonna go into a V. I don't want that. So I am doing I'm doing 2 rows in between. So 2 just plain rows and then we'll just call it an increase row where you're increasing your triangles out. to slow down the slope of it. But I've got just a tiny little ball left, if I can find it in this bag. It's all tangled up with my other cast on. Yeah, this is all I've got left of the first skein. So I'm gonna finish this and then do the sleeves, and then I'll just knit the body. It'll be okay. So yeah. Okay, let's get this one untangled. That's that project. I think last time I also talked about my pair of socks that I was going to start after my ones I showed you. So, it's sport weight, knit on the recommended needle size. Didn't swatch, but I did make gauge. So that's that project. I feel like I'm jumping around too much. My next project in my By the Bay Bagco bag. By the Bay Bagco bag that everything else is in. And this was great. I put all my projects in it and just took this yesterday as like my purse. Like put my wallet and keys and everything in it. It's great. This is what I've done so far for the pair of socks. My next scrappy pair of socks. Just a few rows of cuff, and I'm pretty sure I've only done one. Yep. So that's that. Just haven't been feeling socks. US 0 9-inch circular. This is my little resin stitch marker, progress keeper. Who is that? Kay's Crochet Creations, I think. And this is yarn dyed from my boxy. I'm gonna do heels. I think I want to do cuffs, and then I'm doing this sock blank. I'm gonna do cuffs, and I want to do like the sporty stripes, like the 3 stripes after the cuff. And then maybe do a toe. Who knows? Don't like weaving in all the extra ends of doing like a heel toe cuff, that kind of thing. But we'll see. We'll see how I feel when I actually get back to this. So that's that one with just a few rows. I've also got another small project I cast on that will be ripped out. This is a Musselburgh hat by Ysolda Teague. This is yarn that I bought a while ago. It's Stacy Stitch Co. She had some one-of-a-kind sales where she like sold them for like $10. So this is my last one of those, I think. I'd always planned for it to be a Musselburgh, but I am not a fan of how this is pulling for a hat. So I am going to rip it out and make it socks. And this yarn that I'll show off in a little bit is going to be a new Musselburgh for somebody at church again. The son of the dad who I knit the green hat for. Because I didn't want them to have matching colors. Mix it all up. And yeah. I love knitting these hats, so I greatly enjoy it. And I need to go to somebody who's going to wear them instead of them sitting up there in my closet. So this will be ripped out. These stitch markers are from, I got like a rainbow bracelet of them, and I picked out the 3 colors from it that fit, and then that's my beginning of round. These are all from the Sexy Knitter that I got at DFW. And I'm using my red Chow Goose Shorty set, a US 2.5 3mm. Yep. And I actually am able to do magic loop on this until I get to that round where I can actually spread them out after the increases. So that's been great. Yep, this will be ripped out here soon and eventually knit into socks when I get to knitting socks. That is in a bag by Sassafras Knits that I love so much. This is my Musselburgh bag, and this is my sock bag, and this is my everything else bag. So I also cast on, out of this book, the Mist Tee. So this is Brioche Knitting for Beginners and Beyond by Leslie Ann Robinson, who's also known as Knit Graffiti, I think, on Instagram, and her Ravelry store. Now these are not in Ravelry yet, but I think she posted that she plans on getting like each individual pattern in Ravelry, which will be great. Because I like paper patterns and writing notes on everything, but I don't want to mark up my book. And I did get this book for Christmas. But this is what I am knitting, is the Mist Tee. So it's brioche on the bottom with a garter on the top. And I think the like sleeve cap cuffs and the neckband are brioche as well. So I'm knitting that, and I literally have just cast on and joined in the round. I was trying to have everything ready for yesterday, and I only just knit on that mitt. So these are all I'm marking where I am, but I've cast on and I've done just a few stitches into the first round, setup round. This I am using, oh, I need to get full skeins of it for you, maybe. I haven't, this is leftovers. I have another full skein of each. This is Tattered Pages on Rose Gold, which is the Rose Gold Sparkle, Gold Sparkle. And then this is Twilight by Ruby and Rose's yarn. This will be my main color, the front part of the brioche, and this will be the back part of the brioche. So I have a full skein of each of these. I'm knitting the 4th size, I think. The 3rd size. So it's meant to have 4 to 6 inches of positive ease. I measured like a 34 bust. So that gives me the finished circumference of 40 inches. It should be fine. After knitting that Dear Duomo sweater, that was knit at a fairly large gauge, or not a fairly larger size than I would have picked for myself, but wearing it and trying it on, I loved it. It's oversized sweatshirt fit, and so I'm realizing that I like things a little more oversized than what I usually knit them for. Learning, and so I'm trying to go with that, except for my outline tee. But we'll see how that goes. I can always rip it out. Like the outline tee, I'll get it done for the Arkansas yarn crawl this summer. And if I end up not liking it, I can rip it out and use it for something else. That's the joy of knitting and yarn. You can leave it for a little bit, finish it, and then you can always rip it out later and do something else, which I want to do with another sweater. So that is that sweater. I hope to get a little more done on this, but I also want to just finish my outline tee. I have a lot going on right now. And did you think I was done? Well, I wasn't. I've gone rogue and cast on one more thing. And I've actually got both my outline and my mist in the same bag. And I could fit another one if I really wanted to. But do you recognize this bag? So this bag I got from Addie of Ruby and Rose's yarn. Like, she made it for herself and then just did a de-stash a long time ago. Maybe like 2 to 3 years ago. It was before I was podcasting. So maybe it's 3 years ago. But this is what was holding my Twist and Turns mystery knit along. Well, as you know, I frogged it. But, well, here, we'll just take out these. I frogged it, which is why these cakes are insane, because they are the frogs wrapped around. I am starting a Starflake. So this is Mace of Skeins, O-Fudge, and Sandcastle. And these were my 2 main colors for my Twist and Turns, and they're going to be gorgeous in a Starflake. I think this is my main color. And this is my contrast color. I have 2 skeins of each. I had also bought this one, I think it's Marshland, for my pop of color for the Twist and Turns. I can't decide if I'm going to add it in. I don't think I am, because these are such a good neutral. Adding the green's going to kind of take it away from using it for other things, or for wearing it with like everything. So that's what I'm gonna do, is these 2. I'll find something else for this, maybe even buy some more, because that would be a cute top. Does that go with my skin color? I don't know. We'll see. I'll figure something else out, but I need to put it somewhere else. So I did cast on, and I got the first parallelogram done for it. Now I just need to turn, and let's not fall off, and pick up stitches and do the rest of the parallelograms. And then once I pick up all those, I think it should be fairly easy, like just garter, some eyelets, some brioche. So I'm very excited for this as well. But I got a lot of stuff in just the beginning stages. I got the sock, I got that one, the cast on of the mist, and then I have this. And then I have that Musselburgh that needs to be ripped out and cast on. I got a lot going on, but I'm excited. I've been explaining this stuff, and then you'll still notice that I have not cast on my rose guardian that I've been talking about. It just keeps getting pushed and pushed and pushed, but I'm gonna do it. I promise I'm gonna do it. I want it, I'm gonna do it. So, let's see. I'm sure everybody's seen the Starflake by Stephen West, but if not, I've got the black and white there. So happy about that. I'm ready to do that. Get that done. Alrighty, I think that's all of my whips. In 20 minutes, that might have been fast. Oh well. I did dye some yarn yesterday when I got home from the trunk show. It's still a tiny bit damp. But I've got some blues and some greens. Oh, let's see. There we go. I got some bright blues, some dark navies. There's some green in it. I didn't buy anything when I was there yesterday. I don't have any other projects that I don't have yarn for that I really wanted to buy for. I don't have much space to keep a bunch of yarn, except for, my undyed, which is separate. But I'm trying to knit through my stash, and I'm just indecisive right now with purchasing yarn. But, so, just didn't. I will support Macy and Arkansas Yarn Co. in the future, of course. They always have my support. But this is what I dyed yesterday because I've been wanting to knit somebody at church a hat, a Musselburgh, because he asked for one after I knit his dad one. And he said he liked blues. And I have a hard time spending money, like $30 for a skein of yarn for somebody that's not going, I don't know how they're going to treat it and wash it and all that. But I don't mind dyeing it for myself. My hard work getting sent out to somebody like that, but like Macy's hard work or Lori's hard work, a little more stingy with that. So this is what I dyed, and I enjoy it. I think it looks great. My idea was to so this is what I dyed as well. It's like darker greens with pops of like some neon yellow or highlighter yellow and green, fluorescent green, whatever. So my idea was that with the blue, like the bright blue. And so I'm hoping it'll knit up in a similar way. I'm pretty pumped about it. Ooh, I really like this section. Let me see if I can. I really like it. You see how that like tealish, you can see those pops of green. I like it. I'm excited about this. I think this would be cool as a sweater too. Look at that pop. This might be a good sweater. I do have yarn, so I've got 5 skeins of a cashmere blend. I think it's an 80-10-10 cashmere blend. I've got 5 skeins of 100% superwash merino, and then I've got 5 skeins of an 85-15, and then I've got some Surrey. So I think I'm gonna dye the yarn for a Dear Duomo, and I'm thinking of something similar to this, but instead of like the blues, the bright pops of blues and greens, I want to do some like pinks, some blues and pinks. Let me know what you think about that. I think that'll look good. So we'll see. I'll play around with that. That's all that's been going on. Yesterday was a blast getting to hang out with Maddie and Kristen and Lori and Jessa and Olga. I met there, which was fantastic, meeting a new friend, and Macy and her sister Presley. So much fun getting to just hang out with them and relax. Just meeting new people and hanging out with people that understand this obsession. So, I think that's really all that I have to talk about. I hope everybody has had a great 2 weeks and that your morning, day, evening, whatever time of day it is you're watching this is great, and that it's warming up or going towards spring wherever you are. Maybe if you're across the world, wear something else. But yeah, I will talk to you in about 2 more weeks. Let's hope I can get some of this stuff done. We'll see. I feel like I've been getting a lot done in a 2 weeks time span, like since I've been consistent podcasting. So I'm interested to see how much more I can get done. So have a good day. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.